What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Steve Fast, and here we are in the Hammerdown Motorsports shop. And behind me, we have our 1995 Ram 2500 V10. And over here is the bed for this truck and a whole bunch of parts. Now, we're going to turn over a new leaf here in the shop today. We are taking the bed. We are going to put it back on the truck. It may not be permanently mounted there just yet, but we are going to get it out of Bay 2. We're also going to get all this other stuff out of the way. So that being said, let's fire up this truck. It is on some pretty old fuel, so yeah, it's a little stinky when it starts, but all in all, it is straight piped and it is a V10. And we can see a little smoke in the air. I'm gonna turn on the fans and get this kind of blown out of the shop. It smells like I just started a snowmobile. But all in all, it is because it's basically running on varnish. This fuel is nasty. When I took the fuel pump out, the smell that came out of this tank was absolutely horrible. I'm actually surprised it's even running as good as it is on this type of garbage fuel that's in there, but I do plan on pulling the tank, so I didn't want to put a bunch of fresh fuel in and then have a tank that weighed 200 pounds when I pull it out. So we will be putting some fresh stuff in, and hopefully it runs a little bit better. Oh yes, who needs a Lambo to get a V10? You can just buy an old Dodge truck for 900 bucks. And if one day the V10 decides to give up the Ghost, well, it just gives us an excuse to go out and find a donor truck and maybe stab something else in there. And over here we have our fender flares, which really did look nice until I ran this one over and kind of forgot that it was on the ground ready for its second coat, and then I heard a crunch. But yeah, time for some new ones. So now let's get all this junk cleaned up just like that. Well, sort of. So we got the bed over here on the lift, and the best way I could figure to move a bed around by myself was using one of these cable reels, well, two of them, and then I put some casters on the bottom, and this thing rolls around really nice. So now what we got to do is raise this thing up, get those out of the way. We're going to back the truck underneath and see how this thing looks with this bed reinstalled. So now that I finally got the smell of that horrible exhaust from burning that old fuel in this truck out of the shop, well, now it's time to back this thing back in and do it all over. So let's fire up old Stinky and get this bed back on. So there it is, everybody. We got the bed pretty much on the back of the truck. It is sitting on the frame. It's not quite aligned exactly where it needs to be just yet. I did run into a little issue with the lift hitting the tire, so I couldn't actually lower it down without rolling the truck forward because these tires are significantly bigger than the garbage that it came with. But now we just got to kind of get this thing into its bolt hole locations, and it would be ready to bolt down. But I don't think we're gonna bolt it down just yet because we do have some other things to do, and it may have to come off a second time. And look at that, everybody. We're finally starting to get a glimpse of what this truck's gonna look like when it's complete. And with those big tires, I mean, this thing looks absolutely awesome. Once this bed's aligned, obviously it's a little bit too far back, and I think it's a little bit crooked as well. So for my first Raptor liner paint job, I mean, obviously there is some things to learn. One thing I did notice, I do have a little bit of shiny spots kind of in this area here, and just some minor striping, and that's due to the temperature that I did this tailgate in. Also on the cab corners, I did it in the same temperature. Obviously I did that at the same time, and you can see the difference between here and here. So this would be your equivalent to your 2 coats. This is obviously a thin 1 coat. So you can see there is a very big difference between those two. That's kind of why I wanted to have everything together before I did the final coating on this truck, just so it's done at the same temperature, the same pressure, everything's all the same. I mean, obviously I have my regulator set to the same pressure when I shot all of this, but just that temperature change made a big difference on how the product actually came out of the gun. It was probably about 45 degrees, which, I mean, if I were to read instructions, they probably would have told me that you shouldn't do it that cold. But it is the winter months, and we had to start getting this thing done so we could get it all together. But we do have a warm day today. I don't know if I'm gonna wait until maybe in the spring to actually do this entire thing, unless we get some really nice weather, like something in the 60s is probably the optimum temperature to actually try to get this all done, just so it's gonna cure properly and then everything's gonna go on nice and evenly. But I am absolutely loving the look of this truck already. I mean, once it's all black, it's gonna look so much better. Kind of get rid of this mismatched color thing we got going on. But you can see the 37-inch tire with the 5-inch lift on a long bed truck. It just looks perfect to me. It just has that real aggressive kind of country boy truck look, but it's not like over and above crazy huge. I mean, I'm not into the stance wheels or any of that kind of weird like rubber band tires and tires sticking out 5 feet from the truck. Not really my style. This is kind of more the look I was going for, and I think that this is going to look really, really awesome when it's all done. She is a beast. So we do have a little bit of a rattle in the exhaust. It's just one of the heat shields on one of the cats. The little strap that holds it tight is broken, so it's gonna have to get like a stainless zip tie or something like that and tie that up. But yeah, other than that, we have, well, probably a million other things left to do on this truck. But sometimes you just gotta sit back and bask in the glory of your creation, and well, this is mine so far. So next up is rocker panels, and then I got to get that interior together. I'm really sick of driving on a Lowe's bucket. Now for Operation Shop Cleanup. Let's get this place somewhat in order. Well, this is what we got done today. Truck is back in the bay. Things are looking a whole lot cleaner around here. We still have a little ways to go, just like the project, but one day we will get there and everything will be exactly the way we need it and want it, and have a nice, clean, awesome place to work. So it's just kind of a day in the life video. We're just kind of doing a little bit of shop cleanup here, getting the bed back on the Ram. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.